Brothers and sisters, Brother John here, watchman for that great day. I have some amazing, always amazing. I don't know. I'm always amazed, so I guess it's always amazing to me. I hope it's amazing to you as well. First, I'd like to share with you that I just got off the phone momentarily, a little while ago, with Brother Todd. And Todd had an interesting text sent to him by Sister Rhonda Ebsen, who at 4 o'clock in the morning was led to send him this text. And she had a dream, and she woke up and at 4 a.m. in the morning sent Brother Todd a text saying in the dream that Rhonda Ebsen had was that 3:11 was correct. That's all she received as far as I know. 3:11 was correct, which is Brother Todd, It Is Finished channel. That's his number. That's what was given to him. He also has had the dream when he first got that number was when he had the dream of the bullet train, and he was in Japan at a bullet train station. So it has to do with trains as well. The train, you know. Time of the train's coming, brothers and sisters. Sister Melissa from Midnight Hour Oil just did a train recognition to the rapture. Very good video, Sister Melissa. Very good. I watched it. Also, so 3:11. I believe after what I'm about to tell you and share with you, could very well be the date of the rapture. Now, I know it's still a month and so many days away, okay? It doesn't mean that the rapture can't happen before then, but as an objective look and as something that's written that I'm about to share with you, to give you the indication that that's, you know, it's just possible that we were just given the exact day. All right. Now, no man knows the day of the hour. So to say that is you know, preposterous, right? It's preposterous that God would give us, those that are searching and watching and waiting and longing for Him, the exact day of the rapture. It's just preposterous because no man knows the day of the hour. You know, not the angels know, not the Son of Man knows, only the Father knows. But how many of us pray to the angels? Right? Not many. How many of us pray to the Father? I think all of us. Because if you've seen the Son, you've seen the Father. Jesus Christ is Father, Son, Holy Spirit in one being. All together. God is God. There is no explanation. He is the great I am. The all in all. Our everything. Everything that is would not be without God. So the creator of all things, can he not tell us? Would he not give us a particular time at least to be watchful for and bring us? Look, when Jesus came the first time, it was in Daniel 9, and it says 70 weeks are determined. Well, the first time he came, 70 weeks was times 7. It was 7 times. It was 70 sevens. All right, so that turns out to be 490 years, which we all know that 62 and 7 is only 69 of those weeks, which brought it to the 483-year mark, which is where Jesus came, and on the exact 173,880th day, came into Jerusalem 4 days before his, riding on the donkey, and rose, died on the cross, rose again, all right? So all that happened on an exact count of days, so that those people back then would know that he was the Messiah, as well as what he was doing with miracles and all the things that he did. So the first time it recognized 70 sevens, but in this time, Daniel 9:24 reckons 70 years. All right, 70 Feast of Weeks, which was fulfilled back on June 4th of 2017. That's why some of my earlier videos back in that time were pointing to the tribulation beginning as of June the 4th, and we had a countdown going and watching for it, okay? But of course, that has come and gone, and the September 23rd sign, along with the sign just prior to that woman clothed with the sun, with the moon under her feet, the crown of 12 stars on her head, right? That's all past, all right? Doesn't mean it didn't happen. It happened. Therefore, it is a valuable thing to us as far as looking up, because our redemption draweth nigh. So, let me read something here before I go any further. With this, I'd like to read something that a sister by the name of Lauren, graciously saved by Christ, who sent me a video, an email this morning, and I'd like to read it to you now. So it says, "Hey, Brother John, my name is Lauren, and my mother had a word early this morning that had put great urgency in her heart to share it, and she immediately asked that I email it to you, seeing as we enjoy watching your videos together and we get much encouragement from them. Thank you, Laura. I'm sorry. Thank you, Lauren. And Mother, whatever your mother's name, God bless you. My mom was woken out of sleep around 2 a.m. this morning for no apparent reason. Since she was wide awake, she decided to go to talk to Jesus for a while. And around 3:30, which was an hour and a half later, she heard in her spirit, "Alas, Babylon." Obviously, our minds go right to the book of Revelation, but she was immediately reminded of a book that an old friend of hers had told her about 30 plus years ago. It is a novel that was written in 1959 by Pat Frank about two military brothers who established a code between one another. The code was, "Alas, Babylon," if the country was in danger of nuclear war. The code, "Alas, Babylon," would be a cue to say, get water and supplies ready and warn the people. So in the book, an American fighter jet inadvertently drops a bomb on Syria ammunition depot, which caused the Soviet Union to strike the United States and all its allies with nukes. We feel strongly that this is a warning from the Lord, and He is sounding the alarm to get ready and to warn the people. So that is what we are doing. It says if you feel like passing this along, go ahead and do that. So thank you very much, Lauren, and your mom. And I do believe in these type of things where God will wake up someone and give them a word, and that might not, to most of us seem like anything, but at the moment, and when her mind was in that mode of receiving that, she thought of this book. And this book brings right into the picture of the time that we're on the verge of. I mean, there's no other way to say it. We are at the brink of nuclear war. But the good news is that the rapture happens prior to any nuclear bombs being dropped. As soon as one nuclear bomb drops, there's going to be more than that, brothers and sisters. That's going to be a time of trouble such as never was. All right? That's what we're promised to escape from that time, that hour, that time of tribulation. All right? It's the time known as the time of Jacob's trouble. And there will be wars and rumors of wars, right? So all this stuff, all about Korea and North Korea and nukes and everything else, China and Russia and all the things, this is just the times we're living in. We're living in the times of wars and rumors of wars. So not to be, and then we had the nuke, a warning over there in Hawaii. And I was talking to my sister, Sister Darla, just this morning, and she believes that the timing for because it was a 38-minute delay before they said it wasn't there wasn't anything happening, on the warning, that she looks at that as a warning of 38 days. Okay, that could be a 38-day count, which brings you to February the 20th. So there's an interesting thought. And perhaps, because that was a threat that pretty much the whole world didn't really feel, but mostly the people in Hawaii that got the message, because it was only for half an hour, half an hour, 38 minutes. So most people didn't know about anything until after the fact happened, all right? And then, then they started to worry, and, then they started to look at it, okay? But just because that one was a false alarm, so to speak, doesn't mean that the next one wouldn't, the next time they say, and this is not a drill, it could be the real thing. So, but again, I believe that the rapture happens before that hour comes, and before the heartache, before the worry, before all the things. But it will come suddenly, that's for sure. All right, so back into what I want to bring to you today has to do with Daniel, and connecting to, we know that Jesus came the first time at an exact count, leaving a 1 week period, which we look at as a 7-year period. We know that he came on an exact count of days from the time that Artaxerxes Longimanus gave the decree in, I believe it was March, I have it on a thing right here, March 14th, 445 BC, it was calculated out, and that was exactly 173,880 days, brought you to April 6, 32 AD. And there's so many people with different terms of when it happened, and when it was at 30 AD or 31, 32, at any rate. The bottom line is the count was correct, because Jesus showed up exactly on the day that it was determined. All right, and that was, brothers and sisters, the appointed time. So when we read that in Habakkuk, where it says the appointed time is yet for see, I went blank. Isn't that amazing? How you can go blank like that? We'll just look at that as the problem of the way the mind works here. Let me get this one. Habakkuk chapter 2, verse 3. For the vision is yet for an appointed time, but at the end it shall speak. All right? Now, interesting about what I just said about how Rhonda had a dream, and God told her, okay? Now, are we to trust people and their dreams? Sure. If they're believing that it was something that God gave them. And does God speak to men through dreams? Sure. Do we always get the exact date and the information that's necessary? Sure, but it doesn't always connect to what we're thinking that it is. But here's the thought. She got this thing, this vision or night vision, which you can call a dream, and it was, what it said in Rhonda's dream was that 3:11 was correct. And so much so that she had to text Brother Todd at 4 a.m. in the morning to let him know what just happened. So that's pretty exciting. That also is the stirring of one's spirit, knowing that we're close in those days. We're closing out the Jubilee year, okay? So the Jubilee year ends on the Hebrew calendar as of the first day of the first month of Nisan would be the 17th of March, all right? That's the first day on the Hebrew calendar, all right? And there's all kinds of calendars that could be offered, you understand. And according to, when we get over there, we'll find out if the barley is going to be Aviv, all right? That's important too, because that's how they know if they have to add in a second Adar in order, according to God's agricultural law. They couldn't start the first month. That's why no man would know the day, again, what day, because they wouldn't know if Nisan was going to start on a Hebrew calendar date, or if the barley's not found Aviv, they couldn't have a wave offering for another month, so they'd add that other month in, Adar. They'd add in a second month. So it put it off for another month. So at any rate, we're in the end times. We know that. And we bring it back to Daniel. This is where this is the the core of what I'm going to share with you is the difference between the first time. Okay, now Daniel's a cyclical book. It was closed up. He said Daniel closed the book and seal it up until the end. All right, so it has to be undoing now. It has to be unsealed, and maybe since 1948 it's been unsealed, and we've all been trying to look at this from peoples back then all the way forward. Okay, trying to understand the book of Daniel. Now that we're in the Jubilee year, which is an appointed year, Isaiah chapter 60. Right, 61 and 2, right? And it is the acceptable year of the Lord and the vengeance of our God, all right? This is the year that it will come, all right? So as we approach the end being March, the evening of March 16th, which will be the first day of the new year of Nisan 1, first Nisan 1. On the calendar so far, that's what we have. Understand that. So if it changes, it'll change over there. We'll find out if the barley's of even, if they're adding a second month or not, okay? But so far as watching and waiting for a particular time, and given what Sister Rhonda just had in a dream, 311 is correct. Now, does that mean it's correct as far as the day? We don't know that. But it could be correct as far as what Revelation 3:11 says. Behold, I come quickly. All right? He is coming quickly, brothers and sisters. There's no time. Look, if you're not saved, you need to ask Jesus Christ in your heart this morning, right now, whenever you see this video. If you're not saved, you need to be saved. You need the love of God. He died on the cross for you. Okay, Jesus Christ came as a man, died as a man. Okay, because God cannot die. The Spirit of God never dies. All right, the Spirit will never die. It goes on and on and on eternally. All right, so the man part of the body, the flesh and blood and bone and everything, that all died. But God, the Holy Spirit, that was upon our Lord Jesus Christ, was what raised him up, and he raised bodily. So his physical body died, then he was raised physically. You understand? Back. And that's what they saw for 40 days, and that was proof enough, all right? Just as many proofs, but that was proof enough after he walked the earth again for 40 days and appeared to them a number of times, all right? So getting back to I keep going off into these little areas, okay? All right, let me bring it home. So this is a cyclical book. The first time it was for Jesus, who was the Messiah, who had come in an exact time. But now I'm going to reference Messiah as being anointed, or Mashiach, because that's what the word is. Okay, Messiah in the Strong's is Mashiach. All right. Let me read this to you. Let me point this out to you. Watch this. Let me point this out to you first, so you get a gander at it, so you'll refresh your memory of what I did last week. Let's bring it around. Hold on, let me find out if you're looking at this. Okay, it looks like you're looking at it. Yeah, it looks like you're looking at it right there. See this? Right here. Donald Trump. There it is. D. Trump. Who's this? Cyrus. Cyrus. Very small skip. When they talk about Bible codes, they have very small amount of skip to find this. All right. I don't know what it was in this particular video. You could watch the video. You know, hold on a second. I'll tell you in a second what it is, so you'll know. I don't know if I'll post it or not, but it's Donald Trump, Cyrus, Messiah in Bible code. All right, that's all you need to know. All right, and we'll just go back here and make sure I'm showing you the right thing here. Yeah. So there it is, Donald Trump. Next to Cyrus, he's the United States President, okay? There's a threat. Yeah, of course there's a threat. In this time, day and age, I just told you, there's a nuclear threat. We're on the brink of nuclear war. When those nukes fall, we go up. That's what some people have said. When the bombs fall, we go up. There ain't no bombs going to hit nothing. They're not going to... Nothing can be released until the escape happens. At that point, they might just not press the bomb button. Who knows, you know? Because there's going to be the world's going to go into a tailspin when that happens, all right? It also says over here 5777. Here, see that? 5777. That's the year that we're still in. It says murder. You know, Kislev 5, which was December the 5th. Don't know if that ties into this. This is three-dimensional. It's over the top. It comes out. At any rate, the most important thing I want you to see right here is this. Right here. There it is. Donald Trump, President of the United States, with Cyrus, the Mashiach. Who is this man in relation to this man? We've done the study. I did this video last week, so we don't have to go there. But let me come back here and get my face back on the camera now. You saw that. Remember, Donald Trump's in the Bible. He's written. It is written in the Bible. It's in a code. They wouldn't have known who it was if it's, you know, at all back then. But now that we have knowledge increasing and we have programs that are able to do these codes, this is what comes up. So, with that understanding, let me go back over here to Daniel. And here's what we're at. Let me read it. Daniel 9:24. 70 weeks are determined upon a people and upon a holy city, and to finish the transgression, and to make an end of sins, and to make reconciliation for iniquity, and to bring in everlasting righteousness, and to seal up the vision and prophecy, and to anoint the most holy. I've done the study on this also quite a ways back, where I broke it down. This connects to the 70 Feast of Weeks, which is the number for weeks. It's the Shavuot, right? Shavuot. That's the number for weeks. I'll tell you what it is for a second. Give me a moment. Weeks. 70 weeks. H7620. That is Shabuah. That is the period of 7 or 7 days, 7 years, heptad week. It's a Feast of Weeks. In today's understanding right now, today, that we're past a 70 period of Feast of Weeks, which was last, just back in June 4th. I've said that in the beginning of the video, I believe. But we're going to go forward, because now we're in that period of time after 70 weeks. All right, the 70 Shavuots are fulfilled. We've passed the solar eclipse, which was tied to Jonah's time. We've passed the Revelation 12 sign, which enters us into the beginning of Revelation 12, where we're about to see the stars cast down, a third of the stars and all that. The whole time of Jacob's trouble is upon us, all right? But not upon us, because in essence, we're out of here before the time of Jacob's trouble starts. Now, let me just go back and read the important part here that I want to get to is this. And it's Daniel 9:26. Daniel 9:26 says, and after 62 weeks, a score is 20, so 3 times 20 is 60. So after 62 weeks, now remember I said this, shall Mashiach, remember Messiah was Jesus Christ at first. But we're looking at this in the 70-week period, you understand? 70 Feast of Weeks was 70 years, not 7 times 70. We're looking at this as the time of Jesus Christ's return. He's already done all that he did, right? At the 69th, and then he was cut off, right? So, now we're looking at a different form of a person that's called Mashiach, or anointed. And I just showed you the Mashiach is connected with Cyrus, is connected with Donald Trump. Donald Trump being connected with that, read Isaiah 44, just the last verse, Isaiah 44 and 28, I believe it is. It's like the last verse. Read the last verse of that along with the first verse of Isaiah 45. All right? And you'll find out that God is using Cyrus to do all his pleasure, to fulfill the things that he wants done. Okay? So we're adapting Cyrus and Donald Trump together, Now we're recognizing him as this Messianic Mashiach, okay? No one's called him that in Jerusalem, but he certainly does fit the connection, all right? That's what I want to make you aware of. So watch this. Daniel 9:26. And after 62 weeks, how many weeks has Donald Trump fulfilled today? How many? Since he was inaugurated as president January the 20th, 2017, right now is 1 full year. 1 full year is 52 weeks. So, brothers and sisters, in essence, we have 10 more weeks until Messiah, or this Mashiach, or this anointed, or this one that God is using him to do all his pleasure to fulfill, like Cyrus. He's got 10 more weeks. You understand that? That right there is amazing. Now watch what happens. So we count to the end of 62 weeks. 62 weeks from January 20th, 2017, when he was inaugurated, brings us to March the 30th, 2018. March the 30th, 2018, the eve of Passover. The 31st of March is Passover. April 1st is first fruits. Okay? Now, Amos, let me go to Amos. Just give you that brief. Let me go there, if I can find it. Where are you? There it is, Amos. Amos 8:2 tells us, God says in the bottom of that verse, it says, "The end is come upon my people of Israel. I will not again pass by them anymore." At the time, now listen to the way it words this, "And the songs of the temple shall be howlings in that day, saith the Lord God. There shall be many dead bodies in every place. They shall cast them forth with silence." All right? That's this whole thing. You can read it. But let me go back to Daniel. Let me go back to Daniel 9:26. Hold on. There we go. So, in the 62nd week, Messiah, anointed, say Donald Trump, will be cut off, but not for himself. You see, we're reading this in the representation of how it's reading now, in this 70-year period. Not 7 times 70, but the 70-year period. And there, Messiah is the same word as for Jesus, who was anointed, who was the Mashiach, who was the true King of Kings and Lord of Lords, but he did all he did back in that day. Now we're at the end. Now we're in the 70 period of years since the decree went forth, and since Israel is back in the land. Okay? So, the Mashiach will be cut off after 62 weeks, which happens to be the eve of Passover, but not for himself. And now it says, "And the people of the prince that shall come shall destroy the city and the sanctuary, and the end thereof shall be with a flood, and unto the end of the war desolations are determined." What we're looking at here is when that prince that shall come comes, he comes after this messianic figure, Moshiach, Donald Trump, is removed, right? Brother Todd just told me that U2 just released a song, a video, with Donald Trump on a milk carton which says "missing." What does that mean? Is this cryptic stuff or what? What's going on? So what I'm saying to you is not that the rapture can't happen until then. We are waiting daily, and we should be aware that the rapture can happen anytime. But what I'm trying to show you here is this is when this messianic figure, Mashiach, anointed one, Donald Trump, is most likely in a 70-year period to be cut off. And that's saying this: if he's cut off at the time that he is cut off, okay, whatever that means, cut off, caught up into heaven, dying of a heart attack, whatever, okay? Whatever it means, he's the messianic figure that's being used in our understanding of what's going on and through the Bible code where his name is written next to Cyrus. So he's the messianic figure that will be cut off, not for himself, and then the people of the prince that will come. See? So the prince that is coming after Mashiach, anointed one, Donald Trump, Cyrus, whatever, is cut off. See? That starts the time of Jacob's trouble. So that number that Brother Todd has gotten ties in amazingly. If it's correct, it could be correct at least on one count, as far as what we know, is that is a written scripture, that's Revelation 3:11, that says, "Behold, I come quickly," and Jesus Christ was the one who stated that. So if that was given to a sister, our sister Rhonda Ebsen, in a dream, and she felt stirred enough at 4 a.m. in the morning to text it to Todd, that's a pretty important connection right there. 3:11 is correct. So 3:11 either means that, which it probably already, it also means that, but could it mean that 3:11, which is March 11th, which is days before the end of the Jubilee year, 5 days I believe it is, right? 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 6 days. 6 days before the end of the Jubilee, that could be the exact date. And like I said, no man knows the day or the hour, not the angels of heaven. But do we not pray to the Father, and do we not always ask? And are we not seeking him? And are we not asking him? And at least if we have an idea to know, all right? So I hope that you're encouraged by what I've just shared with you. Sister Mary Hall and I talked the other day, and she did a great video. It would be a blessing if you go there and listen. She did I got to tell you, I've seen some of her videos, and the woman's got a lot on her plate, and she can be here and there. But this particular video came out very concise and strong, and it moved, and it was well worth the watch. So go check her out, Mary Hall. Crazy About You Jesus, y'all. Crazy About Jesus, y'all. That's her video channel. So God bless you all. Brother John, watchman for that great day. What would it be if I didn't blow the shofar, brothers and sisters? Because we're close. Look, I don't know if we have to go all the way over there or if it's going to be today. I don't know that. But I surely want to make you aware of what I'm seeing and what we're all being shown, and the corporate body of these believers, and Sister Gigi of Blue Heaven, and Brother Barry Scarborough, and Sister Rhonda Ebsen, and Brother Todd, and Sister Darla from God's Gifts, and on and on and on. All right? So let's all love one another. Let's back each other up. Let's support each other, and let's bless each other and encourage each other and pray for each other. And God be with us all, because we're about out of here. And just be excited and encouraged, because today could be the day. Today, not tomorrow. We're only living right now. We don't know what's going to happen an hour from now, right? All of us could have to make a video an hour and a half or 2 hours from now because of some kind of something that just happened. We just don't know, right? So be anticipating and be ready. And what are you going to be ready for? Hopefully to hear this. I did the 3. I got it. I guess I'm back, brothers and sisters. Been a tough week and a half. But I'm back. I feel better. Thank you for your support. God bless you. I love you. And I'm looking forward to meeting you soon. And I believe it is soon. So keep watch. Keep your eyes watching. Keep your eyes open, your ears open. If you hear of anything, you got my email. I always post it. And bless you all. Brother John, watchman for that great day.